system. We'd like to welcome you to our monthly meeting tonight on Tuesday night due to the election being on this Thursday night. And this time we'd like to ask you to stand with us as we open with a word of prayer, please. Father God, into your presence we come just now, thanking you that you first loved us. And God, we just pray tonight for all of our students, all of our educators, our administrators. We pray your special blessing on them, their families, their roles, God, with the treasure of your students and children. God, we pray you bless this meeting tonight. Thank you for all of those who do so much behind the scenes and in each area of our education. Thank you for the preparing tonight in each group and each committee and this board, God, as we work collectively together in the diversity of our opinion, but in union in great spirit with you, Lord. And God, just now we lift up all those that have a special need or a special prayer concern. We lift up our nation, our military, our first responders before you and pray your hedge of protection about each of them. Most of all, we come to say how much we love you, Lord. And it's through your Son's Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Next, we would come to our Pledge of Allegiance. And for that, we have Friendsville Elementary students. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Give her a great round of applause. Didn't she do a great job? Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that, Ms. Kennedy. Next, as we ask Ms. Tara to take our roll call for us this evening.
Brian King. Here. Joe Lindsay. Here. John Lowe. Here. Erica Moore. Here. Chris Pass. Here. Phil Porter. Here.
Thank you, Ms. Tara. As we call our meeting to order, we draw our attention now to recognitions and showcases and our Director, Ridge.
Thank you. It is my great honor to formally recognize Erica Moore and Joe Lindsay for 4 years of faithful service and dedication to Blount County Schools. Their leadership, commitment, and vision have contributed greatly to the continued improvement and success of our school system. During her time on the board, Mrs. Moore served as board chair for 1 year, and she consistently demonstrated a heart for our employees and a strong commitment to advocating for students and families. Mr. Lindsay has shown a deep commitment to his community and a passion for career and technical education. He has been a strong advocate for CTE programs and the valuable opportunities they provide for our students. Please join me in showing our appreciation to Mrs. Moore and Mr. Lindsay for their leadership and dedication to Blount County Schools. If any other board members would like to say anything in regard to Mr. Lindsay and Mrs. Moore, please feel free to at this time.
I think I just want to say to both of you, appreciate you. I learned many things with you and from you as I served alongside of you. Sure appreciate your dedication, your commitment to the task. And you know, it's a civic responsibility that you take on when you do this, and we appreciate your giving of your time and support and efforts for the betterment of Blount County Schools. Thank you for that.
I just want to say what a blessing it's been to serve with you all, and appreciate your faithfulness, your serious approach to trying to do the best we can do to help make our students the best they can be. Appreciate Brother Joe's sense of humor especially, which has always been a blessing to us. But we're just thankful. We hate to see you go, but we pray God will bless you and lead you as you from this board. Thank you for your influence and for your help on all we've tried to do. God bless you.
All right, at this time, I would like to call Jed West, Chief of Infrastructure, to the podium to recognize some of our athletic teams.
Thank you, Director Ridge and the board. It is an honor to recognize some outstanding student athletes, and I think that's a point of emphasis for these young men and young women. They are student athletes. They are going at a full academic rigorous schedule and spending countless hours participating, excelling on their athletic fields and in the bowling alley in their competition. So we're excited to recognize them tonight. We are going to recognize some teams here that are region champs and district champs and some other individuals as well. So we're going to start first with Heritage High School, who were regular season district champs, region champs, and Final Four in the TSSAA Class 3A state tournament. And I'm going to turn it over to Coach Bennett once he gets his team down here, let him brag about them and recognize them as well.
Thank you all for recognizing us. I couldn't be more proud of this group of kids. They've worked hard, especially this senior group. It's a group that's they won back-to-back season championships, won a district championship, and then got to the state, finished in the Final Four. But it was such a good group of seniors, great leadership, and we talked about it before the year started. We talked about chemistry. That was pretty much chemistry and staying focused, and that's what they did. And we had a chance to win it all, come up short, but couldn't be more proud of them. They broke just about every offensive record in Heritage High School history, just about every pitching record. We won 35 games, which we blistered the season total with 35. I think the record was 23. And then back-to-back season champs, regular season champs. Then first time in school history, we're region champs. Then we got to host, which it's a dream come true to be able to play on your home field to go to the state tournament. 2 out of 3 win the sectional, then we get in the state tournament. And the one thing I was proud of them is the game wasn't too big when they got to the state tournament. They got there, they played just like they played throughout the year, played some tight games, won 2 games in a row, and then we got upset 2 games. But finishing the Final Four, the first time we'd ever been to a state tournament, couldn't be more proud. Some individual honors. We had one kid, he's not here, Gavin French, who was the first ever Mr. Baseball finalist. He was also Sports Writers All-State. Along with him, Hayden Sanders and Braden Littleton. Raise your hand. They were TBCA All-State, which is a really big honor here in the state of Tennessee. But couldn't be more proud of these guys. Just makes you proud, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Coach Bennett, we want to recognize your team with an outstanding accomplishment banner from Blount County Schools. We're going to get a couple of quick pictures with the banner.
This is my favorite part of coaching.
All right, fellas, if y'all look here. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
All right, next on our recognitions, long overdue, but taking advantage of the opportunity to recognize some outstanding young ladies who participated in bowling in the 25-26 school year, and that is your district and region champs and state Final Four appearance, Heritage Lady Mountaineer Bowling Team.
So as you can see, this is about how the whole season went.
you got to have 6 people on a team to compete. Well, life throws us a bunch of curveballs. A lot of our ladies are currently at work, off to college. This team really pulled together. We have pictures of them praying before each match, really working as a team. This group, last year, I had the most unfortunate circumstance to come jump in for Coach Rowland because he had a heart condition rear up out of nowhere right after a ladies' practice that they may have caused. But a whole lot of prayer, a whole lot of hard work. We almost started digging into the tournament the previous year, but last year was their time. So they district champs, region champs, sub-state. You have Caitlin Russell in the middle, who was in-state singles individual. We had a homeschooler, Presley Dahl, who, same thing, boys side, single individual. They had the opportunity to compete at a high level. This team took the 13-time defending straight state champion to the very end, to where they lost by 14 pins total. That team from Hardin County also finished 3rd in the nation. Couple of spares, this team's in a national tournament. That's how outstanding they were. It wasn't just because of their athletic ability, it's because they truly worked as a team. So I'd like to recognize them for what they've done, and I'd like to encourage people to open their minds to a sport like this, because this is a Division II NCAA sport. You can get full ride scholarships. That's our goal, is to get these individuals opportunities to go to school, be paid for. Never know, may become a pro one day. All right, thank you.
I'd like to take the time to thank a couple people that really supported this program. Number one, Chris, who stepped in for me when I had the heart attack and I couldn't finish the year. He has done an excellent job. He's a great teacher of the sport. He works with the local youth leagues here in the county. The other people I'd like to say thank you to are the owners of Crest Lanes here in town. If it wasn't for Crest and the amount of time and energy that they put into youth bowling in Blount County and to supporting our high schools, we wouldn't have this sport. Okay, so every time I've been interviewed for the past 15 years of coaching, I've mentioned them, and I want to take the opportunity to do it tonight. We're here, and we had the opportunity to do what we did because of the amount of money and time they put into letting us practice and have matches and have the opportunity to have this sport in this county. They support Ceci, William Blount, Maryville. They support Kings Academy out of Seymour. They let kids come in from Knoxville and practice with us when they need to. We have kids from Hardin Valley. I've had kids from Sevier County that practice with Chris and I on a regular basis. Crest Lanes is the reason we have bowling in Blount County, and I just want to recognize them tonight and thank them for what they've done for us. Thank you.
All right, next up on our list, we have district and region champs and sub-state appearance, Eagleton Lady Royal Softball.
Hello, my name is Haley Bergloff. Coach Bean couldn't be here tonight. I'm the assistant coach. He is off coaching our middle school girls, but I'm here to talk about the softball team and the amazing season that they had. So first off, this is the best season that these Lady Royals have ever had. They had a record of 26-9. They won the district regular season, and they were also district tournament champions, and they also went on to win the region championship 1-0. We had 8 players on the all district or all freshman team. We also had 5 players on the all tournament team. We had 1 senior, who is Lila Campbell over here, and then we returned the rest of our team. And then we have our first ever college commit, Kyla. where's she at? She's down here. So that's a big deal for our program. These girls put in a lot of work. It wasn't an easy season by any means, and they continue to work hard every single day, and we are just super proud of them and the work ethic that they have.
All right, ladies, we want to make sure to recognize you with a banner as well for your outstanding accomplishment and outstanding season. We also want to recognize Ella Borbick on an outstanding season individually as an all-state recognition in TWSA softball. So congratulations to you as well. All right, last but certainly not least are our district runner-ups, region runner-ups, and sub-state appearance Eagleton Royal baseball team. Come on down, Coach Hart, recognize your team.
Thank you for having us, and this is truly an honor. And, you know, Mr. West said something a minute ago about being a student athlete. I think the one thing that, as a coach, you want is good people. And this bunch of young men right here got an award this year that probably nobody's probably ever heard of. And for the second year in a row, and we've only been in TSSAA for 4 years, we were a team of academic excellence awarded by the American Baseball Coach Association. And that meant that every one of our team members had a GPA of higher than 3.1. And you know, I'm not knocking anybody, but I'd just like to point out, I think we're winning both on and off the field. And that's why it's an honor to represent their athletic awards, but you need to know that even though this is a bunch of good-looking guys with some terrible haircuts, but they're smart, and they represent their family, and they represent Mark Dowen and Eagleton to the best of their abilities. And I think that's the honor that everybody needs to know. And athletic-wise, you know, we were co-district champs, we were district runner-up, we were region runner-up, but we made it to the first sectional school history. But I want to tell you about our runner-up in a region. You know, Coach Bennett talked about not letting the game be too big. We lost the first game in a heartbreaker, 5-4, and it's best 2 out of 3. We come back the next day, and we don't start off good, but we come back and we won. And we had to win the next one. This bunch never quits, and you know, Mr. Dowen and I, we go at it every now and then, but you know, he runs a program that we don't back down, and that's the way this ballpark is, and that's the way this ball club is. We don't back down, and I'm honored to be their coach. I'm honored to be here. Got Coach Sanders, Coach Word, Coach McLemore. I just drive the bus, make out the lineup. They're the ones that do all the work, and I'm the one that gets, you know, told that I'm the reason we lost all the games, and they're the reason we won all of them. So thank you all for having us, but I'm tickled to death with this bunch.
Wow, can we give all those groups another round of applause? Didn't they just have accomplished great things? We're proud of all of them. Next, we would come to comments from the Blount County Education Association. Ms. Rebecca?
Good evening. Welcome back to a new school year on the third full day of school with everybody. A new school year is a time of new beginnings, excitement, and optimism. Students come in with their new supplies and their new shoes, ready to meet their new teachers, see if their friends are in their classes. They might worry if they'll feel comfortable and welcome. Teachers spend a lot of the summer thinking about things they might do differently and changes they want to make this new school year better. Students want to feel welcome in their classrooms, and teachers want to make sure they are welcoming to all of their students, no matter their background. So if you're involved in school, and you're here, so you are, you get kind of a bonus time to make New Year's resolutions. I encourage everyone in the room to make a resolution to keep in mind that we're all here, parents, school board members, teachers, staff, because we want what is best for our kids here in Blount County, and to be a good example for our students of how to work together, listen to each other, and to make Blount County the best place to live, work, and learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rebecca. Next, we would come to our public comment disclosure for comments from the community.
Thank you for your interest in addressing the Board of Education. This portion of the agenda is reserved for citizens of Blount County, and we ask that you provide your school board district number at the beginning of your presentation. During your presentation, please address the board as a whole, rather than individual board members or district administrators. Additionally, please refrain from presenting complaints about individual employees of the school district. If you wish to voice a complaint, contact the central office and ask to speak with the director of schools or his appointee. This is a formal meeting to conduct the business of Blount County Schools. Please be aware that Tennessee Code 39-17-306 prohibits the disruption of public meetings. You will have 3 minutes for comments. Thank you for your cooperation.
First this evening, we have Forrest Erickson. Mr. Erickson, if you would just share with us the district you live in, and you have 3 moments, sir.
Is it on? Is it on? Yes. Okay. I am Forrest Erickson of District 6. I'm present to object to the Ten Commandments Resolution Item Number 2. The resolution says many things, making false claims and misrepresentations. The 4th of July Declaration of Independence declares that in the course of human events, we have the right to change and abolish governments. You will find the opposite in the holy books, which say that Yahweh appoints our leaders. The claim that litigants used the Lemon Test to block as many displays of American religious heritage as they could, including the Ten Commandments, displays, and veterans' memorials, fails to qualify that it is on government property where that prohibition applies, property paid for by all citizens, regardless of religious heritage. That is a lie of omission. It is the case that no government official should be freeloading off the government resources to further their religion. It is especially important in this case where this resolution is proposing that children be compelled to witness a sectarian religious message. No teacher, principal, school assistant, school administrator, or board member is a competent judge of religious truth, such that they should be the thought police of any student. You will see in history that our nation follows a representative government of the kind invented by the Greeks and the Romans, and Yahweh's book has no such examples. It is to the people of Athena that we owe most of our heritage. This resolution is historically wrong and very bad precedent. I urge all citizens to follow the advice of James Madison, who wrote, "It is proper to take aim at the first experiments on our liberties. We hold this prudent jealousy to be the first duty of citizens and one of the noblest characteristics of the late Revolution. Free men of America did not wait until usurped power had strengthened itself by exercise and entangled the question of precedence. May you heed Madison's alarm and defeat this 10 Commandment resolution, item number 2.
Thank you, Mr. Erickson. Next, we would have Mrs. Alita Ledendecker. If you would please just state your district, and you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening, I'm Alita Ledendecker, and I live in School District 7. I'm here to speak on all 4 agenda items. Regarding the contract with Elgin, Chairman Pass assures that liability for injury during the absences for Bible release time rests on Elgin, but this has not been tested in court. Should it happen, the rightful fury of a parent of an injured student will be aimed at the school system that endorsed and signed a contract for Bible release time. Please do not sign the contract. Regarding agenda items 2 and 3, the proclamation and policy on posting the 10 Commandments in schools. The list of whereases in the proclamation is both misinformed and misrepresented. Whether that is through intent or ignorance is not the issue, to the point that you have built the argument for displaying the 10 Commandments in schools on falsehoods. This is part of the agenda of the white Christian supremacists, a handy rebranding of the KKK. You are making it clear to school children that if they do not adhere to the right religion, they are not part of a privileged group, making them targets for discrimination by their classmates and teachers. This is endorsing a religion, even though you try to claim that it is not. This tactic is promoted by the white Christian supremacists to dismantle our democracy and create a Christian theocracy. Don't do their work for them. Instead, work for all the students of Blount County, not just the Christian ones. Do not adopt the proclamation or policy. Regarding agenda item 10, the 10 Commandments artwork, the truth remains that posting these commandments as part of historical education is signaling that Christianity is the endorsed religion, even though you try to claim otherwise. The fact that it is legal to do so, due to the efforts of white Christian supremacists, doesn't make it right. Choose to do what is right for Blount County citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ledendecker. Next, we would have Carl Ledendecker. Mr. Ledendecker, if you would share with us what district you are from, and then you have 3 moments, sir. 3 minutes.
3 moments. District 7. There's a claim that the display, the 10 Commandments, doesn't have a religious purpose. I don't know if anybody really believes that. But it is not, as it's claimed, a document that was, which the United States was built upon. I think in reference John Adams, who was very influential in the whole Constitution, where he, quote, says, "The United States of America have exhibited perhaps the first example of governments erected on the simple principles of nature. In the formation of the American state governments, it will never be pretended any persons employed in that service interviews with gods or in any degree under the influence of heaven. These governments were contrived merely by the use of reason and the senses." Another example, in 1779, the entire Senate, including William Blount, who this county is named for, signed a Treaty of Tripoli, which begins, "As the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion." There are many more examples, but let's go to the 10 Commandments. Only 3 commandments really apply to the law, and those are laws that have existed before Moses in many cultures. Posting the 10 Commandments, which are 11, by the way, in yours, you're worried about kids committing adultery or coveting their neighbor's wife. And also, really important part is that the 10 Commandments don't include anything about empathy, kindness, fairness, how to disagree kindly, how to be a good citizen. Those are the values that need to be taught. So why is there a push for this particular version of Christianity? Well, Benjamin Franklin warned us about that. It's to cheat in the marketplace of ideas. When some Christians sense that their version is not going well, they try to use the power of government to suppress and replace religious views that differ from theirs. Let's go back to Madison again. Who does not see that the same authority which can establish Christianity, in exclusion of other religions, as has already been done today, may establish with the same ease any particular set of Christians that exhibit different ideas. If this approach basically says if parents aren't preaching their version of Christianity, then they'll directly indoctrinate children using the public schools. So don't be duped. The root of all this, down deep, is a goal to establish a rigid, archaic Christian theology. Most of the founding fathers were Christians or supported Christianity, yet they all endorsed a secular constitution because they knew it was necessary to have a free country. A theocracy or anything close to it is one of the most un-American things you can do.
Thank you, Mr. Ledendecker. Next, we would have Mr. Dave Barth. Mr. Barth, if you would share what district you reside in, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reside in District 4 and here in Blount County. Director Ridge, Chairman Pass, members of the board, thank you for allowing us to speak today. I stand in favor of displaying the Ten Commandments along with other founding documents of our nation and our culture. We are a Christian nation. We were established and we remain a nation built on biblical principles. The Declaration of Independence refers to the guiding, protecting, and benevolent God no less than 4 times. The Constitution stands as the fulfillment of the promise of that declaration. Those are the words of Chief Justice Warren Burger, who is one of the most liberal Chief Justices we have known in this country. Both the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, in turn, are built on the biblical principles found in the Ten Commandments. 51 of the 55 delegates to the Constitutional Convention of 1787 were members of Christian denominations. By large, they were Trinitarians, which means they believed in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. They were primarily Anglican. There were 27 Anglicans out of the 55. There were also Presbyterians, Puritans, Methodists, Roman Catholics, and Lutherans, and 4 more that we don't know what their religious beliefs were. However, regardless of denomination, they all shared a belief in the Christian God of the Bible and the teachings therein. Their beliefs are reflected in the purpose and the construction of our Constitution. There are over 300,000 federal laws today on the books. There are countless numbers of state, local, county, and HOA rules that we are supposed to abide by. Every one of those rules points back to at least one of the Ten Commandments. Our nation has flourished when we have kept to these 10 principles, and we have experienced our worst times when we have failed to keep them in the forefront of our actions. Let us not fail this generation of young citizens by ignoring the basis of our governing principles and by denying them the knowledge of a foundation of a life of service to their fellow mankind. Let us speak the truth in love, but by all means, let us speak the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barth. Next, we would have Mr. Rob Spurko. Mr. Spurko, if you would come and share what district you reside in, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, thank you. I'm Rob Spurko. I live in District 4, and I'm speaking to the 10 Commandments resolutions. I do want to point out that there are some assertions in the declaration there that are a little hazy. It is true that the Kennedy versus Bremerton decision overturned the Lemon Test, and it replaces it with the historical precedents, which a lot of legal commentators have noted is not well defined yet. So it's a legitimate question whether, for instance, Blount County Schools, before Lemon came into effect, actually displayed the 10 Commandments historically here. I think more centrally, the resolution and Public Chapter 924 that it copies miss a key point, which is that the Kennedy decision was about an individual, a coach, who offered prayers after a game on the 50-yard line, and the players voluntarily joined in. Right. He was exercising, as I believe, his constitutionally protected right to express his religious faith. It was not coercive, the Supreme Court found. Now, I mean, there's probably some question about whether a player seeing the man who can decide whether or not they get to go on the field is really free to make that decision of whether or not to participate. You know, I think there's some room for doubt on that or not, but the Supreme Court said it wasn't coercive. There's no room for doubt that this Blount County resolution endorses the 10 Commandments. It puts the weight of the district behind these specific religious words. But it is a fact that the 10 Commandments are part of our religious and political heritage. But there are a lot of facts that we don't mandate get posted. For instance, the Cambridge Platform of 1648, where the Puritan churches in New England came together, and this is part of my religious tradition, and they democratically decided how the different churches were going to organize themselves because they neither had nor wanted a bishop. I could make an argument if I had more than 44 seconds that this is actually more central to our current form of government and our Constitution than the 10 Commandments themselves. And yet this document so important to my faith and history is not displayed. As you make this decision, keep in mind that you are not just voting as an individual, but as a voice of the district. And the district includes a lot of people who are not Christian, and a lot of Christians who are not the same flavor of Christian. I know individually many of you may support this, but you're speaking as more than an individual here, and I think you should take some care in thinking about that and how it comes across. Thank you.
5 was our slot limit for speakers on this topic, but there are 2 more, and I'm going to ask with board's permission, and we allow these last 2 to speak, if that's okay. Would that be okay? Next would be Miss Hillary Trudell. And Miss Hillary, if you would come forward and also share what district you reside in, and you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am District 1. I believe you're my representative. Is that correct, Mr. Pass? I am a mother of a toddler who's going to be going to Blount County Schools. I'm also a proud American. When I was growing up in Corryton, Tennessee, I loved listening to Lee Greenwood, and I loved belting out those words. I'm proud to be an American, for at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me. About 167 years earlier, another famous American who wrote the Bill of Rights, James Madison, says, "Religion flourishes in greater purity without the aid of government, not with the aid of government." Madison understood that government doesn't strengthen faith, it weakens it. Religion at its strongest is when it's chosen freely and not forced by the state or any government. Our founding fathers didn't separate church and state because they opposed religion. They separated church and state when government controls religion. In Europe, state-sponsored churches led persecution, Protestants and Catholics murdering each other. There were wars waged and punishment of people whose beliefs differed from those in power. Even American colonies, government fined, jailed, whipped, and banished people who worshiped differently. Our founders knew that when the government gains power to promote one religion, it also gains the power to suppress another. So they wrote the First Amendment. Thomas Jefferson later explained that it built a wall of separation between church and state. George Washington captured the promise of our nation's values when he wrote that the United States gives to bigotry no sanction and to persecution no assistance. That promise wasn't just for Christians. It was for Jews, for Muslims, Hindus, atheists, and every American whose conscience deserves equal treatment and equal protection under the law. That is why I am opposing the 10 Commandments in public institutions and classrooms. It isn't anti-Christian, it's pro-American, it's pro-freedom. Public schools are being supported by everyone who pays taxes here, and everyone should have the right to go to school and worship freely in their private spaces. It's one of the most patriotic and American things we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Treadell. Next, we would have Miss Amy Beth Miller. Miss Miller, if you would state what district you reside in, and you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
I appreciate the board allowing extended comment tonight. My name is Amy Miller. I raised a child through Blount County Schools, and I'm a voter in School Board District 1. I'm no expert in religion or history or law, but I'm passionate about learning, and I tried to do my homework. The state law and school board proposal refer to the 10 Commandments. Let's be clear that this is one of the versions of the 10 Commandments. If there were only one, the legislature wouldn't have had to include the text of the religion it is endorsing. The law states local education agencies may allow schools to display this version of the 10 Commandments. May allow. By saying Blount County Schools shall, the equivalent of must, post these displays, the school board would exceed what the state law allows. Perhaps the state legislature stopped short of mandating these displays because it didn't want to fund the legal costs of defending this in court. The push to put a version of the 10 Commandments back into public schools rests heavily on a Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling. The Fifth Circuit, whose jurisdiction is Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, not Tennessee. That decision was hardly a clear victory for those who want to push their preferred religion into our public schools. That ruling was a 9-8 split. Only the U.S. Supreme Court can overturn its 1980 decision in Stone versus Graham that says posting the 10 Commandments in public schools is unconstitutional. Legal experts fully expect this issue to go before the High Court again. By acting before the justices rule, this school board would risk being part of that potentially costly litigation. I see no reason for the proposed resolution, but the school board should be clear about what discipline it warns our public schools would face if they don't comply with this potentially illegal action. By including excerpts from the Declaration of Independence and preamble to the Constitution with this version of the 10 Commandments under the state law, and the wording at the end of the board policy, proposed policy, perhaps folks hope to cloak this religious text in a Trojan horse that will allow it to slip into our public schools. How interesting that the law doesn't include the Bill of Rights, which might metaphorically be considered the 10 Commandments for our U.S. government. But the law also does not prohibit any displays near this one. Perhaps the schools could post the Establishment Clause right beside these proposed images of the 10 Commandments draped in our American flag, or dwarfing the flag on a pole beside it while little children look adoringly at the religious text. This proposed policy would do nothing to measurably improve the education of Blount County Schools students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. That will conclude our speaking from the public and comments on the agenda. Next, we would come to, first item tonight would be to set our consent agenda. I would ask for a motion to set and approve the consent agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor of that, if you'd let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, a like sign? And there is none, and our consent agenda is set. Thank you for that. We would come Next, to our agenda, I would ask for a motion to set and approve our agenda for this evening. I have a motion and a second. All in favor of that, if you'd let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, a like sign. And there is none. Thank you for that. The first item on our agenda this evening is discussion and possible action regarding a reimbursement agreement with Elgin Children's Foundation for Bible release time. I would ask for a motion to discuss, please. A motion? We have a second. All in favor of that, if you'd let that be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, a like sign. Any discussion or questions?
I have a question. When I was going through the reimbursement agreement, I guess I'm trying to understand, because I thought whenever this was voted on before that we weren't going to be responsible for the transportation to wherever the church locations are, and I thought that Elgin was going to be responsible for it. And when I've read through the reimbursement agreement multiple times, and I'm not understanding, because it looks as if, I understand that we are taking the responsibility of possibly doing the background checks and stuff like that, but who is actually responsible for transporting the kids?
Yes. If it would be okay, I can speak to that for you. Elgin, what we're agreeing to tonight with them in this item is that they are entering into an agreement with us to reimburse us, our bus contractors that would go to those schools and pick up those students whose parents have voluntarily asked that they be allowed to go to a church 1 hour a month for Bible release time. We're reimbursing, we're placing that through our bus contractors, and Elgin will reimburse us for all the bus transportation. They're going to be paying for the bus transportation through our bus contractors that we currently use. They do all the background checks on all the workers in the church facilities. Even though those churches very possibly and most likely have background checks, Elgin still does their own background check to verify for themselves as well. Does that help answer those for you?
So they're just using the contractors that we use, but they're responsible for it?
Any other questions or discussion? It was a good question, Ms. Eric. Then I would ask for a motion to approve this item on our agenda this evening. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of that, you let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, a like sign? And there is none. Thank you for that. The second item on our agenda this evening is discussion and possible action regarding the 10 Commandments resolution. I would ask for a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss.
Okay. All in favor of that, if you'd let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, a like sign? And there is none. Any discussion or questions regarding item number 2 on our agenda this evening?
I have a question about the resolution. So when I read through the resolution, I think I was a little bit confused, because the law has already passed in the state of Tennessee, and plus we already have a policy for it as well. So, because usually with the resolution, from my understanding, a resolution is meant to be a statement by the board for a stance usually directed at a legislative, at the legislature or in office. And usually you use it to support or oppose something before they actually pass the law. It could be something that's coming down the pike. And so when I read it, I really couldn't understand what it was for, because it's really not needed, because the law is already here. So who is the resolution actually, who is it for?
Would it be all right if I spoke to that as well? The reason we have a resolution before us and tonight as a possibility and a possible policy as well is because the resolution is describing the position of us as a board, what our intentions are, why we are bringing that before this board for possible recommendation and for the community to be able to look back on and see what our thoughts were, where we were coming from. The law was passed that it could be the local public school district has the option to opt into it if they would like, or they don't have to. Later on, if we just do the resolution, what happens later on is 10 years from now, 12 years from now, if some people groups in our education system are discussing it, it becomes difficult to go back and find that resolution. So the resolution simply is saying, as a board, this is our thought process in this, and this is why we are pursuing it to go forward. Second of all, the policy is to be considered tonight, because then at any time someone goes to look into it later on in years to come, it'll be very easy to go into our policies under building displays and go right to that policy. We sent both of these documents to our board attorney, Chris McCarty with Lewis and Thomason, for their review and recommendation, and also to First Liberty Institute out of Washington, D.C., who handles this in many states, to get both of their points of perspective and drafts together, and they both made their best recommendations to the resolution and to the policy and brought those back to us. Okay.
Okay, I also had a question too with the last sentence that was there, which is the "be it further resolved" sentence, where it says that failure by any school to display the 10 Commandments in ordinance with this resolution and accompanying policy shall face discipline by Blount County School District. And I was confused on why that sentence was put in this resolution. It kind of feels like it was kind of like a last minute addition, and I don't feel like it. What is the discipline? It's not clearly defined anywhere.
Yes, in discussion with that, with our attorneyship and also with First Liberty Institute, that recommendation was there so that it gave the policy, the resolution, some teeth to it. The understanding is with every policy that we have, if for any reason a school or a principal or anyone in education doesn't adhere to the policies that the board have, they're in insubordination or direct violation automatically. So they're falling under disciplinary action regardless whether that statement was there or not. The reason it's in the resolution and not in the policy was to convey to Blount County School System this board's recommendation to it and the importance of it being carried out.
Can I ask, when it went to the policy committee, did they have any questions about the discipline part as far as anybody on the, yeah?
No, we didn't. We understood for the same thing that our chairman has spoken. The bottom line is, we said every policy that we have, it is anticipated that as a part of the system that people will go by the policy. And as has been clearly stated, violation of any policy is insubordination. So we just thought that just reinforced the whole resolution of letting them know that, you know, that there's an intent to give some discipline there. What that is would be determined by, obviously, the director of schools, and that would be a central office decision as to what that punishment would be, just like it would be with any policy violation. There are circumstances individually that are looked at, and the degree of violation or the intent or whatever, that would be something that would be handled by the school director of schools. So, as you know, every violation would be looked at individually as to what the circumstances were, what happened, how did it happen, what was the intent, and then decisions about relative punishment would be based upon what happened and why it was violated.
I guess my question would be, do we really think that anybody, because I personally feel like, I think somebody got up and spoke, like I do think that people understand the importance of the history as far as our country is concerned with the documents that we're talking about tonight. But for me, I don't think anybody here in our district, with knowing the people that are here, would do anything to, you know, take it down or disturb it or anything like that. And so for me, The only way that I'm gonna vote for this policy is if you can remove that line for me, that would make me feel better about it. Because I feel like I know our people here in Blount County, and majority of them, if we as a board agree that this is what we want to be instituted in the school system, I really feel like our people are they're gonna go with us. You know, I do think that they're not the people that you need to be worried about per se. I just think that we also need to have a level of trust in them as well. But that would make me feel better. If you don't, want to remove it, I respect that as this board, but that's the only way that I would vote for it.
Ms. Erica, would you like to make that in the form of an amendment to the motion?
Yes, I definitely would. If we could amend this motion by just omitting the last line, be it further resolved, to get that out of there, I would feel much more better. And I appreciate you explaining the intent behind the resolution.
Okay. Do we have a second to our amendment to the motion?
Second.
Okay. We have a second to the amended motion to approval of this resolution. Any other question or discussion? And let's do a roll call vote on that, Ms. Tara, if you would, please.
Joe Lindsay.
Yes.
John Lowe.
Yes.
Erica Moore. Yes. Chris Pass.
Yes.
Bill Porter.
Yes.
Brian King.
Yes.
We passed.
Thank you for that. Item number 2 has passed with that amendment. Item number 3 on our agenda this evening is discussion and possible action regarding the first reading of the 10 Commandments policy. I would ask for a motion to discuss, please.
Motion to discuss.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. All in favor of that, if you let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, like sign. And there is none. Any discussion or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move that we waive the second reading of this resolution.
Policy, of this policy?
Yes, the policy. Mm-hmm.
You're making that in form of a motion?
In form of a motion, yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion or? Oh, there, okay. Ms. Tara, would you take a roll call vote on that motion to waive the second reading on item number 3 in our agenda this evening?
John Lowe.
Yes.
Erica Moore. Yes. Chris Pass.
Yes.
Bill Porter.
Yes.
Brian King.
Yes.
Joe Lindsay.
Yes.
We have passed.
Thank you for that. Next, we would come back to this same item on our agenda, and is there any other discussion or questions regarding this motion to adopt the policy for the 10 Commandments? Okay, then I would ask for a motion to approve this policy without a second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. And if you would do a roll call vote for that for us as well, please.
Erica Moore. Yes. Chris Pass.
Yes.
Bill Porter.
Yes.
Brian King.
Yes.
Joe Lindsay.
Yes.
John Lowe.
Yes.
We have passed.
Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda. Thank you. Item number 4 on our agenda this evening is discussion and possible action on the design and placement of the 10 Commandments. And in your packets that Ms. Tara prepared for us and for anyone to view online, you saw or have examples of those. One is for middle school and high school. The other is for the elementary school age. And I would ask for a motion, before I get too far along there, a motion to discuss item number 4 on our agenda.
Motion to discuss. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of that, if you'd let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, a like sign. And there is none. Thank you for that. Now I'll give you a moment to review those if you would like. Any questions or discussion?
Chris, I do have a question. Thank you. Okay. So I went back and I looked at the law and everything, and so I do feel like this models what the law says for the state of Tennessee. What I think would be beneficial, especially if you're gonna, if we go back to the policy that was just passed a second ago, because I was thinking about this long and hard. When I went on my vacation this summer, I had stopped at a rest area in, I believe it was the state of Indiana. They had the most elaborate rest area I think I've ever seen in my life. I think they spent like $53 million on this rest area, just to let you know how elaborate it was. Well, when I walked inside, they had historical type of historical history documents and things in there. And it had writing and different things like that near the pictures so that you can understand what it is that you're looking for. So when I was looking at these pictures, I was like, if the law says that it's important because of the history and the tradition of it, what I think would complement this is some type of explanation or some type of text that can go under it. And so I called the TSBA today too to get their opinion on that. And I've also reached out to some board members from Wilson County as well to talk to them about it. And they thought that it was a wonderful idea because it would also help if you do have a child, it would help our staff and I feel like our teachers. If you do have a student who walks by it and they have a question, that little bit of text or explainer, I feel like will do the talking, it will do the talking for you as far as how it's related to the history of our country, our tradition. Even if it's just a time in history. It happened in 1791 at this specific time and it's just under it as an identifier. So I just wondered if that would be something that you guys would consider, because I think it would give validity to the argument of the history and the tradition of the country. And that is what I feel like is missing from this whole thing.
Because I was heavily involved in this, and you're exactly right, it would be to everyone's advantage if we could have some more explanation, brief explanation along with each one. The First Liberty Institute out of Washington, D.C. has dealt with this in court cases in 13 states, I believe. And they brought this design back to us and also in works with the resolutions and the policy because of what they've encountered that faces the least amount of opposition. And they say that when we add additional wording, we're stepping beyond what the law initially has given us the right to do. And that is the one paragraph in the Declaration, the one paragraph in the Constitution, and the Ten Commandments. And that's what we've been given the right to do. The other thing is the minimum size is what we're recommending, and that's 16 by 20. It has to be that and at least 26-point font. And that's because the law also this policy and the law speaks to is to be conspicuously placed inside the school where you come in the front foyer or in the cafeteria, an area of great notability. But those are also very valuable real estate walls in the schools. And so everybody has things that they want there, and it's very important to them. And so that's why the size is the way it is, and it's their recommendation from what they've dealt with legally all around the country. That's why it's as brief as it is, Erica. I think everyone agrees with exactly what you're saying. It's just that there becomes legal opportunity for greater opposition as we do. And that's the tragedy of it all, isn't it, right? I'm afraid that we have to. And so that's where they were very instrumental to step in with us and with Chris McCarty, with Lewis Thomason, and say, you know what, we'd like to do several different things here, but you need to understand legality-wise, this is what you're up against. And that's why it's like it is for the size. Does that help answer that?
It does. I guess the only other question I have is how does it protect our teachers, our principals, when they walk by it if a student asks them a question about it? How did they approach that, I guess, is the part that I'm trying to figure out.
Sure. Sure, I guess we could relate that same question also to the national motto that's federal law and state law as well, that says, "In God we trust," right? If they walk by in the cafeteria or a commons area in the school and they see "In God we trust" there, and they ask the teacher about that question or the principal about that, it would pose the same. I don't think there's a great liability there, I guess is what I'm saying. They're responding to answering a question that the student's asking them about. And I think as you said earlier, I think our educators do a great job of navigating what they're able to talk about and what they're able to refer the students back to their parents to discuss in greater detail, or what's better opportunity for them on it. But the national motto is already in all of our schools. It says, "In God we trust," by federal and state law. So that opportunity for there to be a liability there for that has been there for quite some time. So I think we're safe in that. Any other questions or discussion? Then I would ask for a motion to approve the design and the placement plan in the schools.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If we could take that by a roll call vote as well, Ms. Tara.
Yes. Chris Pass.
Yes.
Phil Porter.
Yes.
Brian King.
Yes.
Joe Lindsay.
Yes.
John Lowe.
Yes.
Erica Moore.
Okay.
We have passed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Next, we would normally come to comments from our community, but we didn't have anyone signed up to speak on those things in the latter part this evening. So we would next come to comments from our director.
Well, we're back in school. Everybody's working hard, and just appreciate everybody from central office to the administration at the school level, to all the support people, teachers, students, parents. We're about a weekend almost of school days, and we're just excited. We're just blessed to be back another year. I'm blessed to be doing this, what we love as educators, and I want to reiterate my gratitude for you guys. I appreciate your time, getting to work with you guys, and look forward to continue to work with the members coming back and the future members that come on after the election. So just blessed to be here, and I just really want to wish everybody who's in the schools, a happy first week back, and let's just keep going and have a great year. Thanks.
Thank you, Director Ridge. We appreciate all that you and all of you are doing to get us kicked off here into the 26-27 school year. Any comments from board members, other board members? You'd like to make a comment this evening?
You said you'll be long? Oh. All right, so this is my last talk, y'all, here. I mean, y'all still got us till the end of the month, so I'm pretty sure if Joe's like me, we'll be making our rounds to the schools to tell everybody, our goodbyes and give everybody their hugs. But first of all, I just want to thank the Blount County community for the opportunity to serve you guys and to serve our students and to serve our parents. 4 years goes by really fast. There were times, though, it felt like it was forever. I remember when I mentioned to my neighbor that I was going to run for the school district, and he looked at me with this serious look, and he said, "Now, why would you want to do a thing like that?" And I think about that all the time, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know why I would want to do a thing like that, but I did it. And sometimes when God calls you to something, you don't count the cost, you just do it. And sometimes you do it afraid. I knew that I was supposed to be here at this time serving with you guys, and we've been through a lot. I say to describe it is very difficult to describe, because there's so many emotions that are tied to it. You got your happy moments, you got your sad moments, you got your anxiety-prone moments, you have moments where you shed a lot of tears, there are a lot of laughs, hugs. I mean, it's everything all wrapped up in one, but I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. I just want to thank you for all the things that we were able to do as a district. We accomplished a lot in 4 years. A lot of people don't get to see what I was able to see in a 4-year term. Usually it takes about 8 years. or so, or even more, to be able to accomplish what we were able to accomplish in 4 with 2 boards. And so I just want to tell you guys thank you for everything. I will never forget the memories that we shared, the times we shared, the times we cried together. And you guys mean a lot to me. Like I said before, I know nobody really says it anymore, and I don't know why, but we are Blount County strong. I said, when I think of Blount County, I think of how resilient we are, because we have been through a lot. But we always pick ourselves up off the ground, and we keep moving, and we keep educating kids, because that's what we do. That's what we're good at. And so thank you for everything. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I guess my husband is probably watching somewhere, because when I started the board, it was my wedding anniversary. And since we moved it to Tuesday, it's my anniversary. It's our 14-year anniversary. So if my husband is watching, which I think he is, I just want to say I love you and thank you for supporting me and being my rock throughout all of this. I couldn't have done it without you. I love you guys, Blount County.
My turn. I guess I gotta be the comedic relief. You gotta put the pressure on me and say that that's funny. Wow. What a ride. It's, you know, to ask me, people ask me why I did it. I think if anybody truly knows me, and hopefully I've shown this in the 4 years, my passion is children. Like 100%. My love is for kids, for helping in sports. Because I was on the school board, I coached at Rockford, I coached at ECCA, and I didn't make a dime from it, and I don't care. I truly love children. Like, I love teaching. I guess if I loved school enough, I'd have went and become a teacher, but we ain't going through that. But I mean, my job now, part of it is I get to teach people how to drive a semi-truck. I mean, I'm teaching. I love teaching. I love kids. I have a passion for that. I have my whole life. It's just, I love sports. I want to congratulate the kids that were here. You know, I don't know if they did this when I was in school and recognized people for all these awards. I love that we recognize all these student athletes. I love it when we recognize the ACTs, everything, and these kids are getting a chance to be seen in front of community, and you know, and a lot of those girls that were there for Eagleton, there's about 5 of them I coached for 2 or 3 years. So I'm really close to them, and in the bowling, any sport there is, I'm an advocate for it. It has definitely been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things that I didn't think would happen in my lifetime, and first of all, I never thought I would get into any kind of politics, and I'm glad to be getting out. My number one reason, I'll just tell y'all, for not even trying to run again was my daughter just graduated. She's getting ready to go to college. I missed quite a few things between either me coaching or this of hers. And there's a man sitting right back here, I'm staring at him right now, said you need to enjoy that time with your kids. Mr. Dowling told me that last year. So I've got one more going through high school, and I'm going to enjoy that time. Now, who knows? We might come back for a comeback run and just do it again. Who knows? I doubt it. My wife might leave me this time. But I do appreciate all the support. There was a lot of things that we've done, and you know, every time I've took a job, a coaching job, or working in the youth at church, whatever, did I leave it better than I found it? That's the question I ask when I'm leaving. And I truly feel, Erica, that me and you left it better than we found it. The last thing I will say, and some of y'all will get this, no snow days.
Well, anyone else? Board comment? Well, again, I want to say what an honor it's been to serve with you guys, and we appreciate you. And as, if it's already been stated, we're praying for you and wish you the best in the ventures you take on next. Erica, we want to wish you and your husband a very happy anniversary. There you go. Right? You guys need a special one to make up for these 2 times of this, right? And so thank you to everyone for being here this evening. Thank you for all you're doing for Blount County Schools, and you're coming out to share your thoughts and opinions for Blount County and coming out this evening to do that. I want to leave you with one note to remember going forward, and we want to make sure you get a good understanding of it. Going forward, based on the new laws and the policy that is already in effect in Blount County Schools, if you would like to speak to items that are on the agenda before or after, it can be germane to items to Blount County jurisdiction of education. At the end as well, you could sign up to speak under either one. But according to the new policy the Blount County Schools already has on the books, you would need to reach out to Ms. Tara's office, the Director of Schools Administrative Assistant, by 4 p.m. the day before the school meeting, okay? So I'm hoping everyone here can hear me what I'm saying to you. If you want to speak on something that's on the agenda or germane to Blount County education, be sure that you reach out to Ms. Tara and her office prior to 4 p.m. the day before the school meeting. And if you'd like to look at that policy, you'll find it in 1.404, if I've got that correctly. If you want to look that up, and you can see the particulars of it, okay? And that way, going forward, no one's caught off guard or by surprise at a last minute's notice, okay? That's our goal, is to be as transparent and keep you as up to date as we possibly can. With that said, we hope you have a great rest of this week. We appreciate you being here this evening, and I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And would you hit that gavel and adjourn us today? There it is.